Hey everybody, I'm Todd and this is Sweet Tea Guitars. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel and welcome to the Great Guitar Build Off 2023. Alright you guys, when we left off in the last Ceres video, this is where we were. I just posted that video yesterday. I've done nothing else to this body. I'm excited about this and we're going to jump straight back into it. So I've got my ruler out right here, and what I'm going to do is line that up straight down my center line. I want a 635 millimeter scale length, but I want to be slightly past that, so 636 millimeters. We'll mark it in. We can pop that clamp off and take the ruler off, but before we do anything else, I want to run this ruler down the edge of my fretboard, just like so, making sure I'm in contact all the way down. And I want to draw that line in right there. I want to do the same thing on this side. You know, we want to make sure we don't have any drift side to side. So we've got the scale length line, but what we need now is a true center line. First of all, let's take our Crimson protractor and mark out our true scale length. There's my scale length line. We should be really close, but I don't like taking a chance on this kind of stuff. All right, we're just outside of 29 millimeters on each side. There that line is. Let's come down here. About 32 and a half on both sides. We're about 0.2 millimeters off from where we drew in that center line to start with, which is actually really good. All right, so that is where my truss rod nut needs to be. So let's take a measurement and get 3 millimeters away from that line. Right there is where I want my pickup to start. I love a neck pocket that sounds like that. All right, you guys, I've gotten my pickups out and checked if they fit without running into an issue with them being too tight. And we'll super glue and masking tape this template down to this body. I'm not going to glue it yet. We're going to take it over to the drill press and hog this out, but I do want to go ahead and get everything set up and ready. I'm not going to film that. I'll come back over. This is only going to take just a minute. All I need to do now is to mount this template. We'll get the neck pickup routed first. Then I'll pop the template off. We'll move it back a little bit. Then we'll route the bridge. And I'm not going to use any activator. I'll need those couple of extra seconds to make sure my alignment is right. All right, there we go. So there's our neck pickup placement, and that's where it's going to be. All right, I didn't tell you guys at first, but I'm using a 3/8 router bit for this. A 1/2 inch will not hug these corners properly. So I want to be at 20 millimeters deep exactly. I've got these Forstner bit holes are drilled to about 18. So we're going to keep going until we get this clean. I don't like leaving the points of the Forstner bit in the bottom of my cavities. I want that to be all clean and nice looking. That's why I only went to 18 millimeters deep because I know I can get rid of those 2 Forstner bit points. My walls look nice and clean, no excessive router burn in there. My top looks really good as far as the joint between the body and the top. We're in good shape. Let's draw this out so we'll know where to put this template back when we go to lay it down here. There's our bridge recess marked out. So we're ready to roll with that. This route goes a little further that way than this route does. That's super important to remember when you're routing a Floyd Rose. Neil Jelks, he's NSJ Guitars, the Scotsman. Neil's got this down, you guys. He knows how to route for a Floyd Rose. When I route for a Floyd Rose, what I want, the top face of the base plate to be able to be dead flat level with the surface of the body. And the base plate on a Floyd Rose is anywhere between 3 and 4 millimeters thick based on which version you get. So we want to be at least 4 millimeters deep. A little deeper than that's fine because we want room for the fulcrum action to be able to tilt back as well as forward. All right, there we go with the recess route. I'm happy with that. Everything's lined up. This is lined up with our existing route, which is what we want. We'll get this routed, and we've got one more route we need to do, which is the mass block pass-through. Now, it says to carry this template up to 1.1 inches deep. So we're going to call that about 26.5 millimeters, 27 millimeters. We can really go as deep as we want to on this template because what's going to happen is when we flip the body over and start routing the back spring cavity, this entire hole right here is going to be revealed. That's our mass block pass-through. We don't need to move the master template at this point. We'll go ahead and mark out for our holes too, for our post I mean. We'll measure those before we go drilling anything. All right, let's get this last front route done. All right, we're at 26.5 millimeters. Floyd Rose recess and mass block pass-through route at least started. We need to lay out this body shape. So how I'm going to do this time is we're actually going to mount this paper to the body itself. It looks good. Let's hop over to the bandsaw and cut this out. I'm not going to film this part. I'll be right back and I'll show you guys the results of that and we'll call it a night. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's only been seconds for you guys, but for me it's the next day. And I was in such a rush last night, I did not show you guys the final cutout, rough cutout of my body shape. Well, here it is. We're going to hop over to the spindle sander and sort out the perimeter of this body shape. I don't like cutting the final body shape on a router table. Let's get back to work on this thing, you guys. I'm ready. I've been working for a while getting my bevels drawn out. So we're going to start carving this body. I've got an assortment of tools out here because I'm not sure you know, which ones are going to do the job the best. You know, I'm trying to follow the lines of the outside of the body, the perimeter shape, so I end up with a pretty interesting shape left where the curly maple is, and some reveal of that sapele down beyond the maple. So we're going to take the Shinto and just start carving some of this wood away. I'll just cut down steep like that till I see that I'm almost reaching the wood underneath the top that I want to reveal. Then I'll start to rake this back. Ultimately, in the end, what you want to wind up with is a flat angle on your bevel. You don't want to roll over. It just won't look as good. I want a nice tight line. All right, you guys, we're getting somewhere now. Take our Iwasaki. The Iwasaki will leave us with a pretty much finish ready surface. So I don't want to go too far before, you know, I'm certain that I'm happy with this, but so far I think that's going to work out really cool. If you can see those bevels, this is going to have some wicked curves in it. All right, you guys, I carved a little on this side and got my curve like I like it over here. Now it's still rough, so we got a bunch of cleanup we're going to have to do. I'll turn this thing around when we start working on this area right here. I do not want to take a chance on breaking that point off right there. I don't think it'll happen, but no sense in taking a chance this late in the game, I don't think. I mean, I'm nowhere near done, but we've got a pretty good idea now of where we're headed. I think that's going to be awesome when I get this back carve. I've got a shape drawn down in the cutaway. So I kind of want to follow that somewhat of a V shape right here in the cutaway on the back. I'm pretty happy with the overall look. There are a couple of things that I think I'll change before I go to template with this thing. To me right now it looks kind of square, you know, and I think to elongate that shape just a little would help it. So I'm going to try it at least. You know, what is it? Another build? I'm going to do that anyway. I want to be Sweet Tea. I want to sell a few guitars so I can buy some more wood, support myself, my shop, and my family by doing this. And that's the goal. All right. We're just going to sand this thing real quick with 80 grit just to see what this top's going to look like. Beautiful. I love it. Hey everybody, welcome back. Tonight is Thursday, August the 31st. I want to get a belly carve cut in here. It'll lighten it up some, first of all. And secondly, I think it'll make it more comfortable. So let's kind of draw out a shape we want. I kind of want to flow this back into the shape of the body. All right, I may not follow that shape exactly, but I want to just give myself a line, you know, like don't go any further than this. And we'll draw it out on the side as well. Let's start with the Shinto. Well, at least cut this corner off with it. And just like any other carve I do, carve it down to the line that we can't see, which is this one on the side, and then I'll rake it back to meet the line that we can. Oh, this will work way better. We can probably finish this whole thing off with this hand drum sander. If I would have known how handy these things are, I would have bought one a long time ago. All right, you guys, so I sanded a little more on this body. We're gonna call it a wrap right here. I don't want to get into the next process, which will be starting to get this body ready for stain. And I don't want to get into that process on this video because it'll wind up making this video 2.5 hours long. One last look at this thing. This is the Ceres. This particular one will become the Ceres Theta because it's getting a tremolo. In the next video, we're going to prep this body for stain. We're going to seal these bevels up right here, and I'm going to start wiping some color on this guitar before we glue the neck in. I also want to get the frets put into the neck before I glue it in. I want to have the fret work done. I really hope you guys like this shape. I'm loving it. I do want to make those changes I talked about earlier in the video and lengthen this body just a little before I go to template with it. But I can take care of that. I'm not unhappy with this one. It's completely unique and it's completely me. So that makes me really happy. Don't forget to head over to Gio's channel, Tornella Guitars here on YouTube. Check out the builds Gio's got going on. What a fantastic builder and a great friend of mine at this point. So I'd appreciate it if you'd head over there, give Gio a subscribe, leaving some comments, throw him a thumbs up. As for me, you guys know the deal. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can stay up to date as I release the rest of the videos for the Ceres series, which is my scratch build entry for the great guitar build off this year. I'll see you guys in the next video, and as always, peace and love.